From dictionary teeth up to Kaiser pineapples, my guess is the magic for just one
I love a buttered biscuit.
There we go. Got the whole crew there.
Hey!
Just make it a long intro.
Yeah.
I love it. It's great.
Yeah.
Oh my
Hello,
gosh.
everybody.
I know. I wasn't ready for it.
Yeah.
Hello, everyone.
Oh, Audio Coffee. Good evening, Audio Coffee. Christine, Daniel Barry,
yeah.
Sports Highlights, Cynthia Fire Fairy. Oh my.
Hey, Cynthia.
Woohoo. Let's get this going. Well, damn. Pushy, aren't we? There we go. Let me do that again. That's weird. I know I had this. I had it set up so that way it wouldn't be just a whole bunch of guys with a sausage fest.
I return to rescue you and Miss Nocturna, dear.
Yeah, I appreciate that because I'm fully carnivore, but too much meat.
Yeah.
Yeah, too much meat. You get the meat sweats. You just like
You
You
do.
have so much meat.
I need variety. Yeah.
Some fruit. Pineapple. I don't know.
Too much sausage, one right after the others.
Potato.
Oh, sausage fest. Oh, all right. Well, we'll just pick up where we left off. And of course, I did send invites out to Kaiser, but I think he said he wasn't going to be able to make it this week for some reason, but I can't remember. It's been a long week. So
I think he might be visiting with someone that I visited with yesterday.
Who's that?
Live and in person, Nick Starro.
Oh, okay.
Nick.
Very cool. Very cool.
Yeah, it was fun. I don't know if that's the case. I don't know. I could be making up stories. Who needs AI?
I think that's right. I think that was supposed to be something like that. Did you have a good time with Nick?
Oh yeah, it was a blast. It was a blast. There's a
Is
couple
he really tall? Is he?
He's very
so,
tall.
Yeah, he so
very
said
tall.
he's so tall.
Yes, very tall, very engageable, talkable. That's a good word, right? Talkable.
Talkable, yeah.
Sure.
Talkable,
Chatty.
Conversationalist.
Oh dear, the reading will be great tonight.
Chappy.
we talked that day that he was heading out to see Valhalla because I was like, he was like, hey, you want to go to the Sasquatch Museum with me? And I was like, oh, that would be awesome.
I got to see pictures.
Sasquatches.
It was so cool.
Well, and then the worst part was
we got one.
We got a live
There
one.
he is.
the worst part about it is that I thought I had the coof, and so I didn't want to go and get him sick and ruin the rest of his trip.
Yes.
Like, that would have sucked for
That
him.
would've-
I'm just
and he's not had he's had an eventful trip. A very
yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, I heard about that. So yeah, it was crazy.
And he was in Fulton County as well, wasn't he? With the YSL trail. I was interested.
Oh,
It was
yeah.
being there too. It's good.
Mm.
He's just gone everywhere, man.
Yeah.
Very
Yeah.
bonkers, but good for him. Good for
I
him.
mean, if you're gonna come to the States and you want to go visit places, that's the thing to do. Is just make a trip of it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Nick running around the buff near a Sasquatch museum equals him being shot at.
That's mounted to the wall.
It's like, where's Nick? He's just like,
He's in the museum.
I came, I saw, I stayed.
that's what he should do. Is somebody needs to get him like one of those
Yeah.
things that he can put his head
Puts
in.
it right in.
Oh,
And
they're like the
like,
book shades.
I went to the Sasquatch Museum and never left.
Oh,
This
bless
head mount's
her.
all I got.
Yes.
Oh my God.
Oh God.
It'd be nice of what I went.
All right, here we go.
Okay.
We'll start this thing out. The cross. Y'all witness Mr. Roy. Detective. Nice. Good morning. Good morning. The uniformed detective spoke confidently, rested from the prior day's testimony. Yesterday, if I remember correctly, you testified as to the interrogation of Amanda Smallwood on June 15th. Is that correct? Yes, sir. And you testified under oath that you had no further involvement in the case after that date. Is that correct? Yes, sir. So the only involvement you had in this case was the interview of Amanda around the time of the incident. Yes, sir. Turning slowly, Roy asked slowly and deliberately, "Are you sure?" The witness looked around quizzically. Have you ever met a person named Simon Ryan? The detective's jaw dropped. His eyes darted back and forth and he stuttered, well, maybe I met him like 2 weeks ago. You met Simon Ryan 2 weeks ago? Yes, I believe, me and Mr. Johns spoke to him on the side of the road. Bill Royce walked over to the prosecutor's table. You mean to tell me that this prosecutor right here, pointing to Mr. Johns, and you, detective, met Mr. Simon Ryan 2 weeks ago? That is true. That was about a week prior to your jury selection in this case. Is that correct? Yes, I guess so. And at that time, Mr. Ryan told you there was no way that that Jeep was moved that night because he was across the street in his garage watching basketball the entire time. Is that not correct? Yes. Mr. Ryan also told you that Amanda never left her house when she got home, or at least not between 5 p.m. and 11 p.m., correct? Yes, I mean, that is correct. And in response, Prosecutor Johns here called him a liar. Is that correct? Yes. Bill let the implication of this responses seep into the jury. He looked back at Amanda, who looked so vulnerable in her chair. The shock of watching law enforcement lie on the stand, it rattled her. She could not appreciate the impact of the moment. He smiled. And no further questions. Right? No questions? Oh, speaking of questions, I know that we have a question for you.
He made it.
Yay.
Flam. You know, I tried to get Brandon to let's go, and he said no, so I asked Camel Toe.
I'm so confused.
Good to see you, love.
No camel toe.
Yeah.
No Camel Toe.
Oh my. Yeah, this week is gonna be crazy because I'm doing the DNC. Like,
Oh,
Mm.
fun.
Oh.
Okay. I'll tune in.
yeah.
Showing both sides, I suppose, isn't it?
Mhm.
Oh, I can't wait to tear that apart. I mean, objectively commentate.
Hey, I'll send both you guys an invite. You're welcome to come in,
I would like
Yeah.
and I'll probably fast forward through a lot of the stuff and do bad lip reading.
that.
Oh, that's
That's
so
my
sweet.
favorite.
I do like
Yeah.
bad lip reading. It's hilarious.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah.
Me too.
It'll be.
That's
I
one
need to get
camel
some-
toe that I'm tired of seeing. Thank you.
Oh.
I really need to get like the little cheering in there, like a little cheer button that makes like the crowd go wild or cricket sounds. So whenever I'm doing the bad lip reading, I can just go, yay. Whenever I say something really stupid, whenever I say something smart, be like, chirp, 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 chirp.
Glitches. Ah,
All right,
Oh.
here you go. To you.
okay, me?
Yeah.
Oh.
Okie dokie then. The incompetent. That's a good one for me.
Yeah, I don't remember a dedication in there anywhere. Do you?
Huh.
Cheers, Dave.
How do you know Gosney?
Yeah.
I know Gosney.
Yeah.
This is okay. So the state calls Sergeant Rogers to the stand. Sorry, Roger was makes me giggle. State your full name for the record. Sergeant Thomas Rogers. Were you working as a law enforcement officer on the night of Friday, the June 14th? Yes, sir. What were you doing that night? Assisting with Detective Cross's investigation of a double homicide. And did you recover video surveillance from the night in question? Yes, sir. Philroy stood up. Objection. The video surveillance was not recovered. It was his cell phone capture of the original. No speaking objections, counsellor. Overruled. State you may continue. That's what I just said. No. Speaking objection. I don't like speaking objection. We move to enter that cell phone capture in evidence.
Well, before we move to the next page.
Pineapple juice.
Yay!
But juice. Safe word.
Pineapple juice.
The
I know what
Kaiser
you
is
said.
schon ab.
Hey, Kaiser.
Howdy,
We said it's
howdy.
It's good to
We
see you,
said-
lovely.
What is
Oh,
sound
you
like
two
an
boss
up?
lady and all of y'all out there. Good to see the panel, everybody. Happy Sunday. I am sorry I'm a little bit late. Actually, I am driving, so I will not be able to read tonight. However,
Okay.
that was kind of my fault because I was actually hanging out with Nicholas and mowing the deep end today, and
Hey.
kind of just lost track of time.
Excellent. Excellent. Hey, no worries about that. I would much rather have you having a good time hanging out with some cool people than, having to worry about being here to read or something.
I was spreading the barbecue gospel, y'all.
Ah,
There you go. There you go.
With your
Love it.
That brisket turned
bratwurst.
out amazing, by the way.
Nice.
Did you take your bratwurst, Kaiser?
Was that?
Did you take your bratwurst?
Oh, yes. Kaiser sausage goes everywhere, baby.
They just look very tasty when I looked at them before.
Didn't you say your sausage looked tasty, Geyser?
Yeah, well, hey, have sausage, will travel.
We love your Wiener Schnitzel.
Oh, thank God my wife doesn't listen to this. Otherwise, I might be ending up in a case sometime.
Well, he sounds like he's hiding in the bunker again. That's what it sounds like. Hiding away down in the bunker.
Get over here, Adolf. I'm going to get your schnitzel kicked in. Oh, Jesus.
All right. Well, go ahead, Welsh lady. Continue on.
Yes,
Okay.
continue.
Over defence objection, the evidence is admitted. Now, let's play that cell phone capture for the jury. The lights dimmed and a grainy video captured a shady figure climbing the stairs to the second floor of the Super 8 motel. Several minutes later, the figure returned and walked out of the camera view. The video showed nothing. Now, this video was captured how? On my department-issued cell phone. Did you see the original when it was played that night? Yes, sir. And was that video of better quality? Yes, sir. And what did that original, higher quality video show? Phil stood again, his legs growing fatigued from the multiple efforts. The defence renews its previous objection, namely best evidence rule and spoliation. Overruled. The witness may answer the question. Sergeant Rogers stared directly at Amanda. The video showed Amanda Smallwood entering and exiting the motel that night. Josephine, in the defence second chair position, immediately flipped through the sergeant's deposition. Phil knew what to do. Prosecutor John smirked. Would you identify... Why are they speaking like a Welsh person? Identify. That's just how I say it.
Damn foreigners coming in here taking over the courtroom.
I know, it's foreigners. Damn me.
They took our jobs.
I'm coming for your jobs. Give me that fruit.
You can't identify nothing, man. You can't do it. Can't do it because that wasn't there.
Would you
We literally have you
identify?
leaving the area.
Would you identify the person you saw on the video for the jury? Yes, she is the female seated at the defence table. Let the record reflect the witness identified the defendant. So noted. Acknowledge Judge Wolf.
I like Judge Fluff better.
Judge Fluff.
Yes.
Yes.
Judge Wolf. John smirked like a shark, exposing his teeth. Nothing further. Defence, cross. Phil Royce stood up at his desk, gathering up a single sheet of paper and the depot marked by Josephine and placing it on the podium. Did you meet with the prosecutor prior to your testimony today? Richard Johns jumped up. Objection! Judge Phelps leaned over. Sustained. The jury will be instructed that it is perfectly proper for the witnesses to meet with the attorneys before trial. Counsellor, move on. Despite the forceful admonition, Philroy continued his questioning without a misstep. Sergeant, in your experience, does your memory get better as time passes? No. Isn't it true that you were unsure who you saw on that video that night? Not that I can recall. You are saying it is not true that you were previously unsure of the person in the video? I honestly can't remember. Do you remember conducting a deposition when myself and the prosecutor Hugh were present? Yes, sir. And you were given a sworn oath to tell the truth before answering questions in that deposition? Yes, sir. That oath is identical to the one you took when taking the stand today, correct? Yes, sir. In your deposition, page 15, paragraph 2, you testified that you were not sure who the person in the video was, correct? I do not really remember. Let me help refresh your memory. Phil handed the transcript to the witness. In that deposition, you were asked, and I quote, "Are you sure that the person in the video was Amanda Smallwood?" And your answer was, "Not for sure, just possibly." Do you remember that? Yes, sir. Did your memory get better since the deposition? John stood up. Objection, calls for speculation and argumentative. The witness will not answer the question. Philroy paused, looking at the glare of the judge. He contemplated whether the point had been made. Hard to read the jury faces. Nothing further.
Ooh.
Oh, the snitch! Oh, is this Woody? Sorry. Sorry, Woody.
Let's see.
Judge Fluffer.
Fluffer Boy 2004.
I'm trying to figure out who's going to be who here. State calls Bertie Boyd. Why can't we get her excluded? She's a liar. Amanda's exasperation was understandable, but Phil explained that admissions by a party opponent were allowed in. But it's a lie, Amanda pleaded. Bertie repeated her deposition testimony like a marionette. The lies poured out. Phil gave an effective cross-examination, but the damage was done. The appellate court would have a confession. They would be forced to believe it under the governing review standard. Phil concluded his cross. Inmate Boyd, how many felony convictions or crimes of dishonesty you have? Let's see, I have no idea what I'm going to do for this guy. I have 11 felony convictions and 2 crimes of dishonesty. No further questions from the defense. I have no idea who this is. Josephine calmed Amanda. Phil had an additional move suggested to him by Rod Spinnaker. Your Honor, I know you already ruled on this. Judge Fluff snapped back. Because he's fluffy. So he's movable.
He's so fluffy.
He's so fluffy and jiggly.
Not bad, I'm fluffy.
Judge Fluff snapped back.
Snuffed.
Then why are you bringing it back up?
Talk about a hung jury.
Yeah. Because we have some additional reasons we'd like to state on the record, Phil sighed. Your Honor, I'd like to renew my motion to admit the jail guard's testimony regarding the truthfulness of Bertie Boyd and some gasoline in my sling blade. As we argued pre-trial, Corporal Denicate Omnicki blah 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 Terrell's testimony would be that she did not believe a word from Bertie Boyd, and she lied consistently to obtain the slightest advantage while inside. Phil Roy remembered his discussion with Rod Spinnaker about the issue, trying to boil down the complicated argument to a few sentences. We feel that as a matter of constitutional import, namely the right to present a defense, we should be able to impeach Miss Boyd with the jailer's testimony. The Constitution is superior to the rules of evidence. If the Constitution requires it, then the rules cannot exclude it. Thus, we would beg the court to reconsider its early ruling. Who's this?
Judge.
The judge. Well, I don't need to tell you, counselor, that the Florida rules of evidence exclude one witness commenting on the truthfulness of another. The state is not a party opponent, and the court will exclude the testimony. Denied. Judge Fluffy, as usual, had missed the point.
And another meal.
And another meal. Yes. When I was when I was reading the book, it was at this point that I was starting to get so infuriated with the law system. I was like, oh, I know he's writing from a place of knowledge because this has probably happened.
Yes. Yep.
Oh, I was getting
Thank God
so
she
mad.
took it out on me.
Yeah. Yeah. Give me your
Steve
frustration.
writes.
Yeah.
Steve writes some more like this.
I'm right here for you, baby. I'm right here for you.
So frustrated. I was so angry. I'm
Yeah, do that
so
more
worked
often.
up.
so worked up. Oh boy.
Sit on my couch and just relieve your stress.
Oh, stop, Steven.
Known as scream therapy. Just scream all night. Scream right into that pillow.
Oh dear. Oh dear.
wow.
Oh dear. Goodness.
Oh, boy.
The mistake. After the state concluded its case, Phil Roy stood. The motion was expected and, in the case of an appeal, required. Your Honor, the defense moves for judgment of acquittal. Roy did not expect the dismissal, but stranger things have occurred, so he pressed on. Pursuant to the circumstantial evidence standard, quote, where the only proof of guilt is circumstantial, no matter how strongly the evidence may suggest guilt, a conviction cannot be sustained unless the evidence is inconsistent with any reasonable hypothesis of innocence. And as the court has no doubt observed, the case against my client.
What was
I
that?
like that.
I think
like
that was the wrong voice.
I like it.
Oh, that's you.
Do you like this one? All right. And as the court no doubt observed, the case against my client is entirely circumstantial. Judge Fluff looked at the wall, disinterested. In this case, Your Honor, we have no direct evidence of Amanda being at the Super 8, whether she's turning tricks or not. So I ask you, Your Honor, where is the evidence?
That's the high-end motel.
Phil stopped talking, and silence filled the courtroom. The seconds ticked past. Judge Fluff did not answer, surmising that any appellate. I keep misspelling this or mispronounce this
I
word.
love apples.
Appellate.
Appellate.
Appellate. Appellate.
Pellet.
I have to think
Think of
of
pellet guns.
I love apples.
Appellate. Record. The gaps would not be apparent. Amanda looked over at Josephine, who smiled slightly. After about a minute and a half, Phil looked down at his watch. Since the court has not responded in over 90 seconds, I will assume that no such evidence exists. Uh-oh. Judge Fluff exploded out of his seat.
You will assume no such thing.
Phil stood resolutely. The rage fits from the bench had become tiresome. Phil Roy would not bow down to betray any client.
Counselor, you are out of line.
He thought.
State!
Phil smirked. At least a teaspoon of emotional revenge. Johns rose. I would just like to direct his honorable court's attention to Bush versus State. The circumstantial evidence rule no longer governs in Florida, which I am sure counsel is aware. Johns brushed his hand through his gray hair in a vain attempt to cover his bald spot. And I just won't dignify the words made by the defense any more than that. I just don't want to waste any more time here. So I think I will just sit down. Judge Fluff sneered.
Motion denied. I gotta go poop. You need to go check the poo.
You damn kids, turn down that ZZ Top. You know what I'm saying?
Get off my lawn.
Get off my lawn.
Paul doesn't like that voice, but it does something for me. I don't know why.
That's better than
It don't take much.
I told you to put the water on that.
Gives me that fluttering in my nether region.
Whatever I can do to help. Whatever I can do to help.
That's because the catheter needs change, sir.
That's what it is. God, another UTI because I haven't changed that thing out. That's what it is. Just spasming. That's what it is. It's UTI spasms. That's what it is. Is it a bad thing when my pee's all cloudy and you can't?
Cloudy pee, yes.
I don't know.
I
can't figure it out.
It's fine.
It's bubbly and cloudy. I don't understand. Why does it burn when I pee?
Because the nurse tried to pull that out like if she was starting a chainsaw.
Oh, no, you're going to be pulling it out. No.
Sweetheart, it's not a pull start.
Yourself.
Normally.
Oi.
I just don't tug on it enough.
Sounds like a personal problem.
Oh my God, that brings. I think Diva knows what I'm talking about.
Yes, I
She's
do.
the people that are. Oh my God, and they'll actually pull that shit out. Oh my God. Oh, fucking balloon still inflated and everything. Jesus. And they have no fucking idea that they've done it.
Sometimes it looks
They
like
are
a split hot
clueless.
dog after they do it. You know,
Yeah.
it's like,
Yeah.
I had a balloon animal, Doc.
So, I thought I needed medication for this. Wow.
Okay, we're going to make this into a llama shape.
Who wants a sword fight?
Wow.
okay.
All right,
Testimony.
now in things that'll make you cringe.
Right.
I didn't do that.
Pineapple go.
I didn't do that.
He yeeted
I think you hit the wrong
Yeah.
button. Yeah,
Yeah.
All right.
you did that.
The testimony.
Oh, he's back. He's back.
He's back. Okay,
He's
good.
back. Oh, he's gone.
And he's gone.
There we go.
And he's back. And he's gone.
Okay,
And he's back.
I don't know what
And he's
happened.
gone.
I don't. Hello?
And he's back.
Doc Elmo.
And now he's gone again.
Elmo doesn't know what's happening. That's the Doc Elmo.
Elmo didn't pay his bill.
Is he acting like?
Somewhere in the highway.
You said he's back. He's gone again. He's back. He's gone again. I was like, what is he playing with a flashlight? What?
I must have passed through an area that doesn't have good cell service, which begs the question, how that happened in the middle of the freaking city area? But, all right, whatever.
Oh, it happens all the time, man.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Say,
The testimony. Judge Fluff addressed the jury. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the state has rested and the defense now has the opportunity, if they so choose, to present evidence on their own behalf. Defense, do you wish to do so at this time?
I don't have to.
For
We
a
do,
second
you
there, I was
wanna?
like, wow, Vol, you really hit that high note there.
I know, right? That's impressive.
Wow.
Man of many talents.
that was impressive.
We do, Your Honor. The defense calls Mr. Simon Ryan to the witness stand. The clerk raised her hand. Do you swear to tell the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth, so help you God? I do. Phil Roy stood at the podium in the center of the courtroom. State your full name for the record. Simon Ryan. Mr. Ryan, let's get to the point. Do you remember the night of June 14th? Yes, very clearly. The Illuminati were everywhere. I didn't ask that, Mr. Ryan. And did you call the police non-emergency line to report that you may have helpful information? Yes, I did. I know it very well. I have to report things all the time to them. Did anyone contact you regarding your report? Not till about 2 weeks ago, when Prosecutor Johns and Detective Nice approached me at work. Phil moved over beside the lead prosecutor's chair and pointed directly at Richard Johns. You mean this Prosecutor Johns seated right here? Yes, sir. And what did you tell them? I informed the prosecutor and the detective that I was in the garage that Friday night watching basketball, not at all trying to spy on the New World Order. And this was at the time of the incident. Yes, sir. Mr. Ryan, did you see my client, Amanda Smallwood, that night? Yes, sir. About what time? I'd say she got home around 5:15, 5:16, 5:30, something like that. She stopped her car just outside in the driveway, you see. The Jeep blocked her. Always, she got out, moved the Jeep, pulled into the garage. And what did you see? And what did you see that made you call into the police non-emergency number? Except for when Amanda got home, say around 5:30, there was no way that Jeep moved. Mrs. Smallwood moved it for like 10 seconds, then set it apart in the grass all night. That thing makes a racket when it starts on account of the muffler they got installed. It has a very distinctive sound, much like a Nicky 47. It could not have been moved that night without me noticing. So it is your testimony today that the Jeep, the state alleges my client drove to the crime scene, in fact, never moved from its place. Yes, sir. Assuming the murders in the case occurred between 5:30 and 9 p.m., could Amanda Smallwood have driven to the Super 8 motel during that time? No, sir. She never left her home. No way she could have done it. And did you tell that to Detective Nice and Prosecutor Johns over here 2 weeks ago? Yes, I did. And what did Detective Nice and the wonderful prosecutor say to you in response? They told me that they thought I was lying or being untruthful to them, but I've never lied. You can look back through every article that I posted. I have never lied. I may have been wrong sometimes, but I do not lie.
Don't forget your supplements.
No further questions. Judge Fluff grunted. State!
Nothing from the state.
Next witness. Your Honor, in light of this testimony, we would seek a recess until tomorrow. Judge Fluff looked up at the clock. Well, in light of the time and the fact that I have to go put in some new pudding pops, I will grant the request. Please be here at 8:30 a.m. sharp with your picture pages. All rise for the jury.
It takes a while for those pudding pops to kick in. So
They do.
Yeah.
Yeah. Say, gotta put that extra ingredient in there. Gotta take a little extra time to solidify.
Just got to slide that extra ingredient in there.
I kind of would like one
yeah.
right now.
Just like the consequence. Well, the next morning, Josephine Rose slipped into that there courtroom. She and Phil worked all night on the motion for sanctions and dismissal. Phil gathered up them papers for Josephine drafting the night before. Your Honor, if you'll remember, Mr. Johns denied receiving any exculpatory information. Josephine wiggled in her second chair position, hearing her words spoken confidently by her husband. Amanda listened to Phil's presentation. Phil glanced over at the bench, noticing Judge Fluff looking off into space. Well, Josephine peeked over to the prosecution table where Johns glared coldly back out of her husband. We know the statement of the court to be false. Detective Nice testified under oath right here. Mr. Ryan informed them that he was in the garage that Friday night watching basketball at the time of the incident. There was no way that Jeep was moved. It was parked in the grass all night.
It could not have been moved that night. Further, he stated that Amanda never left the house during the times of the matters. The
Telemetry.
Thank you.
Applet.
Covered from Amanda's Spore showed that the car station and the garage from 5:12 p.m. and to the next afternoon.
Oh, we're gonna have to start patting Shizzy down. I thought he was starting to skip on the record.
Someone kick the table.
Both Detective Nash and Mr. Ryan further testified that ASA or Asshole John told Mr. Ryan that he gave them this information, that he's lied to them. Well, Judge Fluff, he seemed to be working on his computer terminal as Phil Roy talked. Josephine wondered if he was listening to the motion of the motion. And he had put so much work into it the night before. Phil continued reading. Your Honor, Florida Rule of Criminal Procedure 3.220B4. Brady requires that the prosecutor shall disclose to the defendant any material information within the state's possession or control that tends to negate the guilt of defense as to any legal offense charged. Florida Rule of Criminal Procedure 3.220 and 2. Every sanction for willful discovery violations that dictates that the court must levy an appropriate sanction, included but not limited to contempt of proceedings against the attorney and my blaster. Respectfully, if this is in fact determined that Mr. Johns purposefully withheld from the defense exculpatory evidence such as magnitude, then the dismissal of this case must follow, as no confidence can be had in a guilty verdict under such a prosecution. We ask that this case be dismissed, he be ejected into space, and we hit him with our flux capacitor. Or in the alternative, that the court just declare mistrial. Your Honor, there must be consequences for the state's actions, like torturing him or something. Well, Josephine Royce, she gazed with admiration at her courageous husband. He had done his best. She loved him more than she could express. Well, I know how she could express it. Despite all they had done, he had not been defeated. Judge, he was roused from his disinterest. Yes, Your Honor. Johns looked up slowly. Richard Johns reminded Josephine of a serpent ready to strike. Ooh, she shivered. Your Honor, I just don't know if counsel is aware of all the case law that opposes his position. I mean, I could take this personal leg, but professionalism dictates that I don't go for titties and tatties. And with this defense table. Johns was pouring on the accent there. As I was told as a little boy, that it's better to say nothing than to cast an aspersion. I think I just defer to Your Honor. Well, the judge, he looked down at the defense table. Josephine gasped. Well, Phil Roy, he collapsed into the lead defense and turned the chair, covered his eyes with his hands and slouched forward on the table. It appeared that his body had just been deflated, or an orgasm happened. Josephine poked him. Yeah. Well, he looked up and saw that the love in his eyes, in the eyes of his wife, his love, his partner, his strength poured back into him. He nodded silently and mouthed the words. Phil stood up.
Elephant
Defense. Call your next witness. May we have from your few minutes, Your Honor? All rise for the jury.
Is it just me?
No, it's not just you. I think something happens when Shizzy goes into a different voice. It's like
Shizzy, read one
your background
line,
blockers.
and then the
I
other
was
line's
wondering if it was
gone.
just me.
Yeah.
No.
You didn't hear it?
No, it
You
wouldn't
hear
come
it?
Like-
through.
I
Well,
wish
when
the
it goes
It would cut
See the
in and out,
tail?
and then we could catch like the tail end of
Yeah,
it.
it was.
Yeah.
Were you using
And
a
you do your.
filter?
May I have a few minutes, Your
I thought you
Honor?
were just choking on something.
All right, jury.
God.
Oh, shit, we love you, really. We just didn't going to tell you.
That's a good thing we could see your hands.
Hand check.
Where's Kaiser?
Hand check, Kaiser. Hand check.
Kaiser, keep your hands on the wheel.
Oh,
Back on the wheel.
All you hear is the squealing tires.
Crunch.
Don't worry, that'll buff out.
Hey. Hey, Shizzy, if he crashes, cut him off. Or kick him out. We were never a part of it.
yeah, we had no knowledge.
No
Nope.
knowledge.
Nope.
Your Honor, they was really distracting my ass. I don't know what the hell happened. 1 second they was handing a hand check. I don't know what they think I was doing because I'm fatter than shit. I can't reach down there. Goddamn.
Quiet, pay attention to the road, boy.
You must have me confused with somebody a lot skinnier. Sorry, but I like barbecue too much, and ain't no way, goddamn.
Breakfast.
You can hear my
Well,
barbecues.
gets me close catch. Yeah, here.
All right, Wellesley.
the advice. I want to testify. Amber Alexander. Amanda whispered. I want to tell the jury that I'm innocent. Phil leaned in. That is exactly why you should not testify. You will say innocent, and the jury will think the burden is on us. Amanda, we have reasonable doubt. Josephine closed her eyes and breathed in, attempting to clear her mind. The disaster. Why was she? What she have on her mind? Dirty girl. The disastrous trial suggested that she should throw the rule book out. On the other hand, the wisdom of staying out of the prosecutor's crosses remained. Reasonable doubt existed. Lots of it. What about having the accused testify in case of appeal? Could that hurt them? Mrs. Roy wished Rod Spinnaker could advise them, but they only had 10 minutes. Not enough time. Not like I have a story. He has 7 hours.
Oh, I thought you said 7 inches. I was like, wow.
Well, he goes all night long.
Oh,
Did somebody say
All
sausage?
night long.
All night long.
Long.
All right. All right.
All right.
Like I said, that wall's a long way away.
Apparently he's only going to sleep, too.
Damn! All this trial threw at them, and now the simple answer to a legal question burned into her skull. Better to support her husband. He knew. I agree with Phil. Amanda, you should not testify. A moment of quiet hung in the air. Phil spoke. Amanda, this is your call. Let's get this over with. I will not testify. Judge Wolf re-entered. Judge Fluff re-entered and questioned Mrs. Amanda Smallwood in the jury trial for the first-degree murders of Butch Smallwood and Miss Erica Palm. Amanda Smallwood would exercise her Fifth Amendment right to remain silent. Waves of media disappointment rolled out from the courtroom. The defense rests.
oh.
Your Honor, at this time the state calls Dr. William Grass. Phil looked quizzically at his wifely assistant and confidant. Why would the state call their mental health expert in rebuttal? She shrugged. Phil would just have to wait and see what came from the state's rebuttal witness. Would you state your name, position for the record?
69.
I like it.
Favorite number.
Cowgirl.
Lotus butterfly.
Who was
I'm
it the other
Dr.
night?
William. Wait a minute, I'm talking here. Dr. William Grass, forensic psychologist.
He's back again.
Kaiser.
Kaiser.
The witness turned to the jury
Why is the German
box.
shouting at me?
The witness turned to the jury box, looking down through his glasses at the jurors. And I achieved my undergraduate under the I think I was in, where was I? Venezuela. No, anyway. Diploma from Colombia. Yeah, Colombia. That's where I was.
All right.
that was
Let us know. Let us know. Ray.
Countries, different country.
From Harvard. Prosecutor Johns raised his right eyebrows. Is that, big word, the Harvard? Well, it was kind of like when I went back to DNA.
Dinner. Disney.
I hate those Germans. Jawohl! Harvard. In Boston, Massachusetts. Or somewhere like that. Johns pushed his chin out, nodding approvingly. And did you examine the defendant in this case? And I was asked by the state of Florida to examine the defendant for any medical... I did the medical part just for the hell of it. Mental disease or defect. Because I like to experiment. They would lead her to kill her husband and that young lady. The defense jumped up. Objection. Speculation. Overruled. I can't keep track of who the hell's who.
That was Judge Fluff. You got it right.
That was Judge Fluff, yeah.
Objection. It invades the providence of the jury. Overruled. Sit down, counselor. State you may proceed. Phil Roy bit his lip and sat down quickly. His mind focused on the words coming from the witness stand. Now, doctor, you had an opportunity to examine the defendant in the last couple weeks. Jawohl, sir. Yeah, whatever. Carefully, the prosecutor asked. Did the defendant ever state to you that she felt pressured to confess? Well, I like a confession. Dr. Grass responded. She did indicate that she felt pressured. Well, and she made an interesting statement. When I asked her about that, she said she felt pressured because the detective knew that she had done it. And I had my duck bills. The defense table exploded. Wait a minute, which voice said, oh! Objection, Miss Smallwood made no such statement. Judge Wolf, Fluffy. Judge Fluffy thundered from the bench. Counselor, I've had enough of you. Sidebar. Seeing red as a concept had been unknown to Mr. Roy up until that very moment, and the concept remained unknown to most average citizens. But the trope held true. The courtroom turned red. Phil Roy, Esquire, seethed. Phil slammed his logbook closed and approached the bench. Closing his eyes and easing his voice, Phil Roy controlled his emotions and tone as best as he could. Your Honor, he began, through clenched teeth. I was there in that interview, and Miss Smallwood said, no, wait a minute.
Wrong voice.
I'm doing the wrong voice.
Wrong voice.
It's Alan Rickman.
I was there in the, yes, Your Honor. I was there in the interview, and Miss Smallwood said no such thing. Dr. Grass mischaracterized what she said during the evaluation. Objection noted. Overruled. Your Honor, overruled, I said. Your Wait a minute, who the hell is this?
Rickman.
Rickman.
Oh, okay.
Rickman.
Your Honor, we would like the jury to be excused. Very well. Plaintiff, remove the jury. Phil gathered himself, his temper close to boiling. Where the hell am I?
As
Rickman.
a result.
Sling
Rickman.
Blade. Is this Rickman?
No, it's Rickman.
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 Ah.
Yeah.
As a result of the state's failure to disclose an alleged statement by my client to the defense prior to trial, a Richardson's hearing is required to assess the discovery violation, to determine if the defendant's rights to due process and fair trial have been violated, and to determine whether a sanction is appropriate. His professionalism and experience took over, calming him. When, I don't know who this is, when a defendant raises a potential discovery violation, the court is required to determine whether the state violated a discovery rule, and if so, whether that violation was willful or inadvertent, whether it resulted in harm or prejudice to the defendant, and whether and to what extent a sanction is appropriate. I would direct the court's attention to Richardson versus State.
Yes, Brady, innit?
That's right.
And just listening to this monologue and just imagining this being read by
Yes.
Severus Snape.
Yes. Or Hans Gruber.
Yeah.
For some reason, I feel like it fits Snape better than Gruber, though.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
Phil pressed
Oh,
the
it's so
issue.
good. I love it.
Phil pressed the issue. The trial court must make an adequate inquiry into all the surrounding circumstances. If a violation is found, the court must assess whether the state's discovery violation was inadvertent or willful, whether the violation was trivial or substantial, and what effect it had on the defendant's ability to prepare for trial. This is from the case Severus Snape versus State. Taking a deep breath, Phil concluded. Your Honor, we move for a mistrial. Overruled. Judge Fluffy gazed contemptuously at the defense attorney. Is there anything else? I'm going to so scratch your eyes out. The prosecutor stared at Roy, smirking and saying nothing. Your Honor, the jury returned. The judge turned. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, the defense's objections are overruled. You may continue, Mr. Johns. Stupid bitch. Your Honor,
And for some
the
reason,
state rests. Good Lord, that was confusing. I need names to go with the voices, or they just get all confused.
It gets so confusing.
Why can't this be written like a script?
But you're like a Duracell bunny.
The closings.
Like
The
close ends.
Yeah.
I prefer openings.
Oh.
When it's closed, it's no fun. You got to have it out wide open.
Gotta be
like,
open.
Yeah.
Yes, when it's
If
closed,
not, I
there's
can
all
open
this
it
talk
for
of
you.
consent.
Yeah, but you want it to close afterwards, you know what I mean? Like, it'd be nice
Oh.
and tight in there.
Yes. 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 Good muscle control.
Ready for next time.
Well, I have a book for that too. It's called Linda's Tight Clam Needs Loosening.
Oh. Well.
Oh, it's like my dad's little pecker. It's one of them.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goodness.
I do kegels, and I don't even have to.
Goodness.
The cool.
I've been to a few keggers myself. What you talking about?
Kegels, keggers. It's about the same thing.
Right.
Both get the job done.
Yeah, there you go. Gutter spud. Squeeze, release.
Squeeze.
A pelvic floor.
Like being in a place.
Oh God.
I'm
That's
reminded
now,
of
circulation.
All I say,
Rubber
gutter
over.
spub is if you can do it faster, then we'll be good.
I keep walnuts around, and I don't even eat them.
What are these nuts?
What he means is he has nutcrackers and they've never been touched.
This is like a hot dog running down a hallway.
Like flying a plane through the Grand Canyon.
Or like a hang glider.
Unicycle.
Feel that breeze.
Hello, hello, hello.
Hello.
What's that, a hurricane? Oh, God!
It's a wizard sleeve.
I just saw a dragon in there. It's not a dragon.
It's not a dragon, okay? It's just a device.
IUD?
It's Pentaploth.
Why does your IUD look like a dragon?
The machines are coming for us.
It's dental floss for that big gap in your teeth.
Y'all make it hard to read.
Oh.
You make it so hard to read.
So hard.
So hard.
That one was making it hard, all right. That's for sure.
Really, Lisa? I think we need
Hands,
another
Kaiser.
Hands again.
hand check.
Pleasure.
Well, it's actually dark now, so you wouldn't be able to see anything anyway. So, you know.
That's your excuse, is it? All right, okay then.
Oh, yeah. Just keep reading. Oh, yeah, just keep reading. Oh, yeah.
Almost there.
Almost at the
Hot and
station.
moist. Sounds like Georgia today. Hot and moist.
Hot and moist.
Ow.
So
Accurate.
sticky. So sticky.
Moist.
Well, the good news is I'm like very close to home here, and I can jump off and actually get onto my computer. So, you
I
know.
thought you was going to say something else, then, Kaiser.
Oh, don't you wish, Welsh lady? Yeah, you naughty lady.
I'll read extra slow then. Just so you got time to get home.
Get home.
So he can understand.
Yes.
Where you can jump off.
Well, I'm going to definitely get off somewhere.
Quite right. Yes. The courtroom assembled as usual when Joel 27, Selena Johannesson, passed a note to the judge from the jury box. Counsel approach.
Oh, my knees.
Defense attorney Roy and prosecutor Johns looked over at each other, both perplexed. A rare moment of unity. The two crossed the courtroom and leaned onto the judge's bench, one of them showing their cleavage. It appears that our young friend in the back, wearing a puffy coat and sideways hat, has offered some remuneration to Juror 27 for a certain vote and a few feet pictures. The attorneys looked around. High Z squirmed on the uncomfortable wooden bench at the back of the crowded courtroom, arms crossed. Here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to eject the young man from my courtroom. State, you can follow up with whatever you deem appropriate.
I wasn't expecting that.
Juror 27 will be excused. We will have to go with our alternate. Phil spoke up. Your Honor, could I? But Judge Fluff cut him off.
Kegels.
Ow.
I did not ask for argument. You two are excused. Phil followed the prosecutor's bald spot back to the attorney's table. He turned to Josephine. We lost our life giver.
Could have a cup of tea.
State, do you wish to make a closing argument? Prosecutor Richard Johns polished his State of Florida pin tacked to his left lapel and adjusted his glasses. Why, yes, Your Honor.
Oh, God.
Sliding out of the lead prosecutor chair, Johns pulled on the wings of his blue coat, but the faux gold buttons did not quite reach together, so he dropped his arms as if he intended the buttoning failure. The defense has pled identity, putting on his thickest drawl for effect. Now, the standard in a criminal case is high. Beyond a reasonable doubt, we, the state of Florida, embrace that burden. We embrace it. Johns clenched his hands into fists, pulling inward to emphasize the expression. Now, we as representatives of the state of Florida submit to you, ladies and gentlemen of the jury,
Hands, fall storm.
that
What? They're fine. They're fine.
there
That's
is
not fair.
there is no reasonable doubt, and that he slapped his hands together to awaken the jurors. And that is what the evidence shows. Judge Fluff leaned in intently from his elevated position. Oh, he was elevated, was he? Right there. We got here the defendant hateful at her husband for neglecting her sexually. And
do it.
two innocent folks enjoying a bit of extracurricular recreation. That night, that horrible night, the defendant launched her evil plan, killing drugs there at her place of work for the taking. John's tone rose and fell, adding dramatic effect. She armed herself with those poisons in a debilitating taser. She tracked her husband with that Apple AirTag. She knew he was fornicating, while her body stood rejected. That would not do. Now, we here at the state are going to be perfectly honest with you. I can't tell you whether the defendant went to the Super 8 motel to kill her husband that Friday night. No, it may be that she just sought revenge against her younger rival. But finding him there, the opportunity presented itself. Phil Roy squirmed in his seat. Should he object? The closing crossed the line, but judges in this circuit gave a lot of latitude to attorneys in closing. I bet they did. Judge Fluff, for sure. Maybe if he granted some leeway to the state, Judge Fluff would give him the same courtesy. Phil remained in his seat. The state has charged premeditated murder, and that we have shown. Premeditation can come in just in an instant, just like that. John snapped his fingers. Oh, that was a bad snap. Let me try again.
That was good.
That was good snap.
Okay.
Yeah.
Good stuff.
Don't ask me.
This defendant saw her defenseless husband and chose to inject him with that vile fluid. That she did. That is premeditation. That is first-degree murder. We, the humble state of Florida, ask you to do your duty and return the only verdict. A reasonable... I was thinking of vittles. Only verdict a reasonable person would deliver.
Vittles?
Vittles. That verdict is guilty. Thank you, Your Honor.
And I'm spent.
She's so excited.
He snaps up in a twist.
Two snaps in a circle.
Mhm.
That girl, she don't need no kegels with a voice like that.
Defense.
Oh, gosh.
Phil Roy felt the weight of a wrongly accused client in every fiber of his being. The pressures would stagger normal men. But Phil Roy was no normal man, baby.
Oh.
That asthmatic beckoning just puts me over the top.
What? Beyond and the exclusion of every reasonable doubt. This is the highest standard in law. This case reeks of doubt, and that is why I am confident you will find my client, Miss Amanda Smallwood, not guilty. The judge looked off into space. The burden remains with the government. I have totally missed my accents, but I would be remiss if I did not point some doubts that you, the fact finder, must wrestle with. You heard testimony from this witness stand that the drugs used in the killings are very common. Many folks in Amanda's office had access to those drugs, and we can widen that. The drug is available at many, many doctors' offices. Even the illicit drug market can be a source. No, that is not enough. The impartial witness in this case is Mr. Ryan. The evidence against Amanda Smallwood is exceedingly circumstantial. That fateful night when she lost her husband of 6 years, Amanda drove home from work just as she had for the 6 months previous. The telemetry from her car shows this. She went home and never left. The state alleges she took the Jeep, and that was why her cell and her car never moved from her home that night. But that ignores a key witness. A disinterested witness, Mr. Ryan, observed her during the relevant times. She never left. That is reasonable doubt. Her husband, Butch, he had many enemies. A CIA special agent accumulated them as he moved up the spy ladder. Is it unreasonable to think that one of those enemies followed him and took their revenge? The so-called confession to Bertie Boyd. Can you place stock in a over 10-time convicted felon? Everyone forgets about Miss Erica Palms. She may have lived life on the seedy side, but with such youth, such beauty, could her attractions be the object of a jealousy and rage?
And that name.
Yeah, yes.
I know. All hands.
Palms.
All palms. Is that a reasonable doubt? Reasonable doubt, folks. This covers this case. Now, let me remind you, the defense does not have to prove anything. The state carries that burden. The state must prove, beyond and to the exclusion of every reasonable doubt, that Miss Amanda Smallwood committed these murders, and that they have failed to do. That is why I am confident that when you deliberate, you will come to the proper conclusion. That verdict must be not guilty. Phil Roy collapsed into the lead defense chair, exhausted from the closing. Amanda reached over. Oh, Phil, you did great.
Jesus. Jesus.
You're the best I ever had.
Thank you so much, Phil.
It's like me listening to Yamaha before I go to sleep.
Look, I got visions.
Puddledown says he'll never be hard again.
You love Vera.
The voice alone.
And Josephine smiled. She loved that man.
State rebuttal.
Gosh.
Assistant State Attorney Richard Johns began his presentation. The defense will have you believe that the state just brings charges against anyone. What a ridiculous thing to say. Phil's eyes widened. Objection, demeaning the defense. Burden shift.
Overruled.
Oh my gosh, this is a long chapter.
Keep going.
Yeah. You got it.
We have here at this table have a duty to the truth. We don't bring charges unless we know them to be true. Objection, vouching.
Overruled.
John smiled widely, exposing his incisors. How would you feel if your life was taken so heinously? Objection, golden rule violation.
Overruled.
The defendant here confessed. Objection, misstating facts, not in evidence.
Bring all the objections.
Overruled.
The action paused.
Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, it is your duty to weigh the evidence. You, and you alone, are the arbiters of what you choose to believe and what you do not.
The judge huffed, growing ever more enraged at the defense table. Phil struggled. But, Your Honor, under Rule 4-3.4b.
One more objection, counselor, and I will hold you in contempt. You will remain in your seat.
Oh dear.
Judge Fluff leaned over his bench, shouting.
Now, sit down, counselor! And the catheter came out.
All you hear is just, hey, I'm going to need some new robes after this.
The bailiff smirked.
Mr. Bailiff, if Mr. Roy gets out of his seat one more time, you will enforce this court's order. Now, continue, Mr. Johns.
Right, the jury and all.
Yeah.
Roy fumed. How was he to do his job if he could not object? The distraction occupied his mind. As the prosecutor continued his rebuttal closing, he tried to tune into what was being said, but rage clouded his hearing. Phil forced his mind to concentrate. He had to object. It was his sworn duty to zealously advocate for his client. Slowly, the prosecutor's words regained coherence. And what you have here is the failure of any sort of proof by the defense that she didn't do it. Phil Roy jumped up. Objection. The bailiff charged. The defense attorney's eyes widened. Was he actually going to be attacked? In court? By a bailiff? Phil's knees gave out involuntarily. He dropped back into his seat, raising his hands in submission.
and we ask that you find the defendant guilty as charged.
Naughty, naughty. Naughty.
That was just. Ooh.
He might have had shock collars. May as well have had shock collars on his shock cuffs. Like, boom.
Seriously, Gosney, why'd you name this chapter this?
The arrest?
The arrest.
The arrest.
Oh, is it like Glanville where he got Tony Steele arrested?
I don't know, man. This is like church, I think.
Oh, we got
don't
a
worry.
church.
Take me to
Wait, just
Take me to
patience.
the church.
Patience.
Mhm.
Patience, my children.
Yes.
Oh, just wait. I read ahead, so I got surprises. Prosecutor John's work as a jury deliberated. The stack system indicated a high priority item needed attention. The police report. The jury tampering guy named Brandon Aponte, aka High Z. I know him, girl. He sold me that weed down the street. As Aponte left the building, he flipped off the front door security. Evidently, the punk peeled out of the courthouse parking lot in his green Honda Civic. Cheap ass. Hazi's distinctive car stood out with a rear spoiler and tiny splayed tires. And he can't even afford oil change that damn thing, girl.
After oil change because he just scrapes on the bottom of a speed bump and he spent
like 12 grand on that stereo system. Don't even get an oil change for it. That's why all that smoke coming out of there. It smelled like a fart can.
Is that parade in the
It
truck?
sounded like one too. We see that all the time in Memphis. After laying a reckless driving charge on the kid, the police search Hazi's ride. They always up in their business. Inside were OxyContin pills. I'm sure he just happened to have OxyContin pills. You didn't just plant them on him, did you, officer? Did you? An unusually large sum. Johns knew that one regular size bottle amounted to trafficking amounts in Florida and could land young Brandon a hefty prison term. That boy got little kids. He got kids.
Let's go.
Trafficking in Florida simply meant a certain weight of drugs, and that weight was so absurdly low. But the amounts Hazy had seemed unusual for the street. The guy had a sauce. Well, of course he did, girl. That's Big Louie. Everybody know that. Johns vaguely remembered some pharmacies reporting losses, but in those cases, all the signs pointed to insiders. Could be. Maybe the pills were just stolen. Scanning the report, the drugs were not packaged in regular prescription size. Instead, they were in a large... Why can't they just say Ziploc bag? Why they gotta say large bulk container? We all know a damn one of them big old Ziploc. The kind of pharmacies use. They also seized from him his car, hypodermic needles, and a pallet of Diprovan. Richard Jones's right elbow raised slightly. What'd you say Diprovan was? What'd you say, girl?
Propofol.
Oh, the Michael Jackson drug.
Michael Jackson, yeah.
Same thing that killed that couple in the house in the hacienda, or we call it Super 8 Hotel.
Hey, maybe he had a colonoscopy or something. I don't know. The prosecutor's office laid charges on Mr. Aponte with a click. The statutory minimum mandatory prison term would kick in, and Hazy would never see freedom again. Of course, they do that to a young brother. John's elected boss encouraged them to file everything and plead it down. Statistics must be maintained. Dick Johns had done it for years. I bet he had.
I bet John's dead.
I bet
Mhm.
that he be dicking. Let's see. What did the kid say? Maybe he consented to the search. If he was smart, he didn't. The officer gave a direct quote. Good police practice. Why you pigs hassling me? I just want to see what they're going to do in Erica's trial. Johns felt a twinge of skepticism at the correct grammar, but he appreciated the effort. The arrested officer noted further down the report that Brandon Aponte and Eric Palm were hooking up prior to the murders.
Oh.
Mhm.
Motive.
Things that make you go,
You make me go,
Johns pulled up stack. Girl, what the hell is that? Keep repeating that damn word. Had Aponte been listed on any state witness list for Amanda Smallwood? No. Johns read back to top of the page. They searched the car without a warrant. That's what they do all the time.
Sons of fucks.
That's what happened to my baby sister. The assistant state attorney searched for the appropriate form in. I'm tired of reading that damn word. Noel pros. What? Why are they talking about Christmas? Go away. Click. Case dismissed. He drummed his fingers on the desk. How come everyone find out about the arrest? He could not think of a way. No need to disclose a case that went away. He thought. He closed stack. His phone rang. The jury reached a verdict. Prosecutor Johns entered the packed courtroom. All rise for the jury, the bailiff called. The robed Judge Fluffy entered. 12 jurors filled the jury box. Ladies and gentlemen of the jury, of the courtroom, of the congregation, State versus Amanda Smallwood, the accused. The jury, the jury, the one and only jury, the 12 people that decide life and death, find as follows. Count 1. First-degree murder. Victim, Mr. Butch Smallwood. Guilty as sin.
knew it was the sinner.
He's going down.
Count 2. First-degree murder. Victim, Erica Palm. Guilty as sin. Say we all. Can I get
Amen.
Amen.
The release of your sin shall set you free.
Told you I read ahead.
We were a bit premature.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Kaiser, the grill.
Oh,
Kaiser gets the
Oh,
grill.
there we go. Perfect.
Yeah, I mean, you've been barbecuing, so might as well get the grill.
I don't think this is the same grill that you're all thinking for some reason.
No, it's totally grill, man.
Elmo no like this.
Ahead a little bit. Yeah, I was gonna say.
Elmo.
It's the gold tooth.
Okay, well, here we go. Yo, man, let's just hang out. Buster cut his sweet temper with a razor.
What this, Heidi? You taking classes at community college?
I knew it.
The blunt roller picked up a stained envelope from the table.
Says right here.
Nah, B, I just cashed the federal checks. Yeah, them cats can blow me.
Yo,
Buster muttered, half paying attention.
that ain't right. I got business. Pig stole my stuff.
Buster flicked the lighter several times. Sparks flew. The empty bick refused him. Yo, you got a lighter? High Z threw his blue plastic cylinder resentfully. It hit Buster in the side, bouncing off the couch and onto the floor. Yo, man, be cool. The couch dweller reached down with his left hand while balancing his stogie in his right. Not quite sure it was the same stogie you and I are thinking about, but okay. I'm thinking a fine Cuban. This is not that. It's Colombian, though. He picked up the lighter carefully and dropped it onto the cushion next to him. A cut in the exposed padding exhibited burn holes from the carelessly discarded cigarettes.
Yo, Z, just how you beat that rat.
High Z smiled, exposing his grill. He knew, but he was playing the game. I think I got the wrong, read for that.
That's
I'm supposed
fine.
to be doing
That's
Elmo
fine.
for High Z anyway. Okay, I'll just figure this one out now. Okay.
The spatula cats couldn't touch High Z, man.
Smoke squirting from B's nostrils. Yo, file a motion and squash that. He threw his hands in the contorted incoherence. I've been flagrantly violated.
I didn't know you had a lawyer, dog.
What? No, man, I didn't. Public pretend. I did it myself. God, again, there's no idea who is speaking, so it makes it really hard.
It does.
Blame Gosney. Blame Gosney.
Okay, guys, anybody that's writing out there, please, for the love of God, tell me who the hell is talking. It drives me insane.
Hey, why do you think I've been reading ahead?
I keep trying to, but I can't read much further ahead than you guys can.
I've got the book in my hand.
Yeah,
Listen, I don't have a copy of the book, so... Anyway.
Well, you can get it on Amazon.
Yeah, I wrote a review for it.
Or go to SteveGosney.com.
Yeah, SteveGosney.com.
Or go to
Website?
SteveGosney.com.
Mm-hmm.
Anywho.
I wrote an article about that.
I'm sure that you did.
Mm.
Anyway, gotta remember where the hell I was.
You were
Okay.
at why no man reading his Elmo.
Okay.
The public pretend I did it all myself.
Buster looked up in awe. Man, that crazy. He sucked in more fumes. High Z sneered with disgust.
You know, what your problem is? You don't got enough hustle, dog. No ambition. Here he is, out of Roxy, and you just chilling, smoking up the profits.
What you want to do, man? Next van ain't ready for a week. High Z pondered their weekly routine. The next scheduled excursion to South Florida came next Wednesday. They would fill the van with warm bodies for a day trip. An MRI and a bullshit pain complaint would generate a prescription for Oxycontin for each sucker. Oxy pills supplied renewed. But time was money, High Z knew. Buster, not so much. The cabinet being dry, they were out of the game. No supply meant no cash. No cash meant that they were out of the game. Problem immediate? Yes.
I say we go right to the source. Them pills need a librarian.
Word.
Word, homie. Word.
I think I need a different. I think I need a different voice for that one. Word, brother.
Yeah. Word, brother.
I really feel like I probably should. I decided to do the one accent, but I was like, man, I really should have done that as Macho Man Randy Savage and Elmo. One on.
Yes.
Yes. The robbery.
Puddletown Elmo in a do-rag.
I can see it. I can see it.
Mm-hmm. I can see it.
I'm from that side of the tracks, bitch.
So is it Elmo automatically a blood?
Oh, good question.
Yeah.
Good
Just saying.
question. Yeah.
Well, it saves me a hell of a lot for him to actually have to buy hair dye.
No, I think he's more like a Latin king.
Is he from
I think he's a
Cleveland?
Yeah, I can see that.
Might
I can
be.
see that. Yeah.
West side, east side, motherfucker.
Well, a Mercedes-Benz Airstream Interstate idled out outside the Walgreens. Its distinctive diesel knocking sound rumbling under the hot Florida sun. Owner William Presser browsed the back inside aisle next to the store's pharmacy. His wife directed him to retrieve a pain reliever. While the man poked away at the lanes of inventory, trying to remember which brand his spouse favored. Was it Bayer, Tylenol? Yes, Tylenol. Well, possibly a 100-count gel pack of 500 milligrams, 50-count tablet, 650 milligrams, 24-count caplet, 325 milligrams. Oh, he struggled to mentally compare the price with the product amounts, holding the calculations in his head. He then factored in the brand decision with advertised quality. Wait, recalculate, stepped back. Will's mind played a movie over the upcoming marital lecture about his telepathic failure. Maybe he should have listened to his wife more closely. He grabbed one of each. Will's heart yearned for their annual excursion back home in Montana. Most of his kids were there, and even some of those little brats we call grandkids. His better half agreed they need to get back soon, packing lots of gifts for their little brats. Christina and Anna in the RV. Brian and Paul they would spoil them little shitheads, but much to the chagrin of his parents. They had read their favorite children's book. It was called Brucey, the One-Eyed Wonder Dog. Oh, my. In the whole world. They shared a precious moment by the stone Montana fireplace as they sparked one up, ate a couple of gummies, and had some brownies. Their Florida Beach condo.
Sounds like a good idea.
Sounds like so much fun.
Elmo does a lot of stuff. I had no idea.
Elmo, you are a...
Elmo's as hood as it gets.
I would give Elmo a spanking, except Elmo would like it too much.
Oh, yes. Yes, he would.
You try
What do you
staring
expect
around
from
with
a
your
guy
hand
that
jammed
lives
up
with
your
a
ass for
fist up
40
his
years?
Hey, you had a hand job your entire life. Florida beachfront. That's the
Hand
precious
jobs for
most...
everybody.
Hand jobs.
Boat mowing the deep end.
Yes. The front condo housed the presses most of the time, but retirement does not mean transplantation without roots. Roots, man. He tapped his Smith & Wesson 6-shooter. Yeah, son. Laredo boots is leather boots. Wrangler blue jeans and a thick handlebar mustache that made him look like legal voices. Completed the look.
Laredo. He couldn't afford Ariats. Cheapos.
Well, although Will Presser dressed in cowboy gear, he did not especially stand out in Florida. The community, they took all comers. Yes, anybody.
Yes.
Will his balanced disposition had been learned through habit and practice. A public place required the alert state yellow, as the trained concealed carrier knew. Annual training pilgrimages to Montana's Freddie Merck's Gunworks honed his skills. The classes emphasized innocent life protection and the heavy burden of responsibility brought on by a concealed carry. Competitive target shooting ingrained precise shooting habits on his Model 60. A blue plastic basket swung nonchalantly in Will's left hand, filled with over-the-counter medicines, while his straw hat rested casually at his side. Will Presser existed in an incredibly different world than Buster and High Z, but this day their paths crossed. A commotion near the pharmacy drew Will's attention. Put the bills in a bin! The robber held a black high-point handgun, turning it sideways as he learned from watching Fast and the Furious. The lab coat pharmacist cowered. Her trembling little hands, they caused the bottles to drop, spilling medicinals on the floor. Please, sir, I'm getting it. Pick it. from perfect firing position, Will methodically observed the scene, identifying another conspirator to the left. The second guy had some kind of gold dental appliance, an abundance of face tattoos, and he had a hand up his ass for some reason I don't understand. The cowboy had a customer.
That's why it's called a grill. Yeah, gangster sniper, all sideways and shit. And his gold grill glistening in the sun.
Cowboy had a customer wearing a ginger wallflower concert t-shirt adjacent to the assailant, held his hands up in faux surrender. Oh, how it's me. Will observed the metalhead Texas slowly angling closer to the masked assailant. Hey, cool. Will thought. He quickly clicked the 5 elements of self-defense. Innocence, evidence, proportionality, avoidance, reasonableness. Damn it. Unfortunately, the customer did not see the second man. Suddenly, an arching right-hand haymaker flew at the gunman. The Texas hat dumped to the floor. The gunman's finger jerked onto the trigger as the blow fell, but he'd forgotten to chamber around. Click. Dry fire. Ouch. The gunman fell. His piece rattled across the smooth floor and it slid towards the hidden companion. The tattooed thug muttered through his grill, gasping for the spinning high point. Condition red. Point, squeeze, or repeat. 2 rounds of the .357 Magnum critical duty hit their mark, sent the mask, and surrendered. Izzy did not survive. Bye-bye, Elmo. It's gone down.
Oh, no.
Of course he wasn't going to survive. He was carrying a high point. Jeez.
I will say that Elmo in this situation did not survive this brutal attack.
Yeah.
You can't
Rub
say
some
that.
Viagra on it, it would have gone off.
Elmo's back is all
femoral.
Elmo's back is turned into a mushroom cloud of red mist. I feel sorry for the hand up his ass.
That was the embarrassing part. Well, how'd you find him? Well, sir, he had a hand up his ass.
He's pretty easy to spot with his assailant.
Yeah.
He wasn't assailing him. He was making him talk. He's a puppet.
I think we might want to keep that one out of the
I have
news
this
article.
picture. I have this picture in my head now of Elmo, like holding up a place, and then it zooms out, and you realize it's actually the puppeteer moving Elmo, doing all the things, and the puppeteer's the one that bites it. The puppeteer bites it, and then suddenly somebody else gets the puppet, and then he takes over, and actually it becomes a cursed item.
It's a horror film.
It's a horror film.
The Curse of Elmo.
I'm just gonna keep
Elmo
coming back every single time. I just
Coming
can't
this Halloween. To a theater near you.
Coming soon.
Well, we can do one or two things. We can have Welsh Lady reads and we can continue on. We probably won't get through the whole crew.
Yeah.
Or we can pause it here and catch up with you guys next week and let everybody know what we got going on.
Oh yeah.
Leave him hanging.
I'll let the panel decide.
Leave him hanging.
Leave him hanging. Yeah.
All right, we'll leave them hanging.
You're wanting more.
Leave them wanting more.
Always.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
Leave him waiting 7 hours. And then I have a story.
That's what he does. It's cool.
Oh yeah. Little ghosty, we're gonna leave you hanging. Yeah.
Puddle Town. Elmo is real.
Oh,
I know it's all that.
Oh, still.
We just need to play the Exorcist theme.
It's real to me, damn it.
Audio Coffee says that's a film starring Elmo that I'd watch. Elmo
For
is
real. You can make a whole series of them like the horror films from the 80s.
Yeah,
You know,
definitely.
or
Elmo
If
and
Leprechaun can do it,
Tremors.
why not Elmo?
Yeah.
or you could just do Star Wars starring Elmo.
No.
It'd be better than what Disney's putting out.
A hell of a lot better than what's out now.
Spaceballs with Elmo.
I'm picturing Elmo with a Freddy Krueger sweater and the hat and the glove.
Yeah. Elmo and Elm Street.
Yes, Elmo on Nightmare on Elmo Street.
Nightmare on Elmo Street.
Guys, it's Nightmare on Sesame Street.
Oh.
I like Elmo Street better.
Yeah,
me too.
1, 2, Elmo's coming for you.
Oh,
So
Elmo
what
and
do you do?
Gremlins. Sorry.
What do you? Oh yeah, Gremlins. Yeah, he would fit right in. There were all Muppets there too.
Elmo versus the Gremlins.
I really need a talented editor to help me out with like superimposing a bunch of like. I need to get an Elmo puppet now and like do green screen footage and green screen Elmo into a bunch of 80s horror movies now. And I need somebody that's a lot better at camera work than me.
Yeah.
Well, unlike the Gremlins, with Elmo, you just can't stick
Yeah.
your hand up his ass after midnight. No fisting after midnight. That's what does it.
Chucky starring Elmo.
Oh, can you imagine that
Oh,
one?
Chucky. Elmo's bride.
Looks like a big bird to me.
Watch out for Mr. Snuffleupagus.
What did you do with Bert?
Oh God! Oh God!
I don't like this, Ernie.
Where'd it go?
Bert's dead.
Oh, hey, Bert. Why are we trapped inside this shipping container?
Oh, I don't know, dumbass.
Elmo is.
Suddenly a TV turns on in the corner. Elmo's like,
I want to play a game.
Oh God.
Elmo is Hannibal Lecter.
Elmo and
Eddie's
Candyman.
liver with fava beans and a nice Chianti. Put the lotion in the basket. The lotion in the basket.
So what do you have coming up, Welsh lady?
Well, I'm just getting back to myself again. So I know I've noticed a few comments about me not being around. So I know I haven't been around. But you know, health dictates, etc. So I will be back. I'll be back. I will be back.
Yes.
And you know, if I'm good, I'm good. I can do it. And if I'm not, then I've got to take care of myself. So
Absolutely.
but thank you all, and
So good to
just
see you tonight.
still love
Yeah.
you guys. Still love you all.
Oh.
Thank you so
Aw.
much, Izzy.
it's good to see you back.
No,
Yeah, it's good
Thank
to see
you.
you.
we're happy to have you here. We're happy to have
Missed
you
you
here.
all.
Laughter really helps out quite a bit.
Mhm.
You know,
It does.
amazing enough. And what about you, Yamaha? What do you have coming?
Oh, I have no idea. You never know. I thought about potentially doing an impromptu late one tonight, but I'm not sure. I have to look at the story. So
Really?
Oh, can you read me to sleep?
Oh.
I'll have you all. I will.
you
I'll
can
pull you
punch my
on.
buttons anytime, baby.
You
All right.
That's nice.
Dragons unite!
Oh yeah.
Yeah, baby.
Now, what about you, Dictionary? What about you, Dictionary? What do you have going?
I realize it's been a while since I've done an art stream, so I need to hit up Valhalla for another art duet. Yeah.
Yeah, baseball bat works really well.
Yeah. Wake
Hit 'em
up.
up.
especially with the holidays coming up.
Yeah, especially
Yes.
with the holiday.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh, yeah.
Yeah, see, if you create something really cool, you can put it out like as an auction, and then people can bid on it.
I know. We had talked about doing that, and I think that's something we need to pursue. I just keep putting stuff off, and I don't really have time to put stuff off, but I keep doing it anyway, you know?
Me too. Me
Yeah.
too.
Yeah, I think there's plenty of time. Plenty of time.
And,
it's tomorrow.
and U-Haul Storm, anything? Well, we got tomorrow.
Well, we got
Storm.
tomorrow night
Where's it
where
gonna
we
be?
don't know yet, but
who did it last and who did it before then?
Yamaha did it last, and I think before
Valhalla?
then it was
Holla.
you or was
Yamaha
it
needs to
NG?
do one for real.
Wait a
No,
minute. was
Yamaha
I think
did
it
it
was
last
NG.
week. He did it last week.
Yamaha didn't. He didn't do
No,
nothing.
no,
You're
not
talking
Yamaha.
about Valhalla. You're
Yeah,
saying
yeah.
Wow.
that's what you mean to say.
Holla.
Well, Yamaha did it last week,
Yamaha.
man.
Well, that's why I'm confused. I have no idea. What do you? What the fuck did I do now? I have no-
I don't know, but
Could it
I'm
be a
sure
week?
it's good.
It's a new show, Yamaha.
Yamaha.
Yeah,
I
like
have
a-
no idea.
In either case, we'll figure it out. Otherwise, you'll see me on FNL, and sometimes Shizzy lets me come
Oh,
up with
yeah.
him during the week.
If,
So
if he is covering the DNC stuff, I would like to join.
Oh, that
What's up? What do you got going on, Kaiser? What do you got going on this week?
All right. Well, currently do have some news in the pipeline. Got to give a little bit of a talk about the Alien Romulus, which opened up over the weekend
Yeah.
and how that did. Other than that, we're going to see where things are going for this week as far as other streams and information. So kind of playing things by ear right now. Things are kind of quiet in the entertainment sphere. So we will see where the wind takes us. And otherwise, I'm going to go to bed early tonight because I'm really tired. So no video tomorrow. I'm sorry, guys.
I'm staying up to listen to Yamaha. So.
Well, it was just a thought. I'm not sure. I got to look at some stuff here. 'Cause
Oh no, come on, don't let me down now, man. It's 3 a.m.
well, if
Is
well,
that-
keep an
is
eye
that-
out. I don't know. Keep an eye out. Something might pop up for you.
I'll just put your channel on anyway. So it might pop up.
You might have to bulge your eyes out. You never know.
Damn.
I'll be first like sound asleep and then I'll you. Hello.
This guy's going to be barbecuing the Sasquatch sometime later this week.
Well, I mean, I barbecued for Nick. I mean, I think he would probably be a little bit too big to fit on my smoker. I'm just going to say.
yeah, he's a pretty big dude.
He's in the
He's
museum.
bigger in person. I'll put it that way.
Yes.
Yes, he is.
Yes, he is.
Hey, Mayor Dan. Good to see you.
Hey,
Mayor
Dan.
Dan.
What's up, man?
That was fun. That was an absolute blast. Mayor Dan is great. Oh, man.
Dude,
Yeah, I
he's
just
the
get
king of
to-
Halloween.
Yeah,
Oh,
I did not
I am-
unfortunately get to watch much of you guys' stream on Friday with that, but it looked like you guys were having a blast. And I
Oh my
thought
god, it was so much fun.
Yeah,
I
I was.
watched it, yeah.
Yeah.
Good
Well,
laugh.
and if you want to do something for Mayor Dan here, all you have to do is give him a little bit of red.
A little bit of red.
A little bit of red. Yeah, a little bit of red.
What are you
Andy
talking
Dufresne.
Oh, that red.
Yes.
Andy Dufresne. At the bottom of the hill was my friend Andy. Andy Dufresne.
Well, for me this week, I will be covering the DNC, except for Monday is going to be really odd because that'll probably end up being like a Tuesday morning kind of thing for the DNC. If there's anything worth watching on there, usually the first night of the DNC is pretty lame.
Yep.
I mean, even the RNC is pretty lame the first night, but they might have a couple of guest speakers that make complete fools of themselves. Maybe somebody will collapse and be injured. You never know. There's that weird.
The first night of both conventions is absolutely useless.
Yeah.
The second night you have a little more of the talking points from your from your more well-known candidates that probably aren't even running for office. Wednesday night, you always had the vice presidential pick and quite a few senators, congressmen, whatever. And then, of course, Thursday night's always the candidate. So,
yeah.
So we're expecting this one to be a complete and total crap show, right?
God, I hope so.
No, it's going to be beautiful. It's going to be glorious. So that's what I have going on for this week at night. Now,
sorry, I gotta go. Sorry.
All right, we'll see you. See you, Wesley. Wesley has to jump out.
Gotcha.
Thank you very much. She's just getting tired. It is late for her.
It is late.
Oh yeah, it's like 3 a.m.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. You traveling fool? What's up? Yo. Good to see you.
Yo.
Yo.
It's about football season, isn't it, brother?
Josh Shank was on today, and I had to tune in.
Yes.
Yes, he says he's probably watched that more than all the movies combined that he has in any sort of collection. He enjoys that movie quite a bit. But yeah, so that's what we've got going on this week. Is DNC is going to be happening, at night, except for Monday night. Monday night's going to be it's going to be the men's show Derailed. It'll be on either Yamaha. Oh, no, Jesus.
Everybody keeps yelling at me. I have no idea. What the hell I haven't done anything. It's not my fault.
It's either going to be on Volstorms, it's going to be on Valhalla's, it'll be on Experts, or it'll be on MG Laws or my channel. It'll be on one of those channels. If you've got to be subbed to each one of them to figure out where exactly those things are going to be happening.
That's right.
And we will be kicking that thing off at at what 9:30 I think is what time it happens.
9:30 is what time we usually start. I think with MGs we had to wait till 10.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
But so you just gotta pay attention to all of our channels to be able to figure out where we're gonna be and what time.
Yeah. And what we talk about,
God knows.
God knows, but it'll be good. It'll be a good show. Everybody, have a wonderful evening, and we will see you.
Thank you, everybody.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah.
And you guys are awesome.
Yeah.
Oh, it's so wonderful.
So gather round, let the stories begin. In the realm of Sunday spice, where joy always wins when cheesy waste not leading the way. We'll laugh and we'll smile for night and day. Sunday spice, a show of delight, written by I and all the voices that ignite. From dictionary deep to Kaiser pie.